Good
Hello.
morning. Hi, I'm Dr. Tassel Faith,
I'm Andrea Turner.
and we are just delighted to be here with you today. We have such an exciting topic. This topic, I'm so excited talking about this topic. It's an absolute life changer for me and my body. How about you, Andrea?
Same. I could go on about this forever and ever. I love it.
Me too. And Andrea and I have known each other, we think it's like 15 years, or we need to get an accurate count, but we've known each other, it feels like forever. We feel like soul sisters. And this is one of the topics that we have talked about over and over and over again for over a decade.
Yes.
So,
Over a decade. In fact, I think that's probably one of the things that we talked about first. Our kids,
yes.
our diets.
Yes, absolutely. Our kids and our relationship with our body, and really breaking out of this mainstream programming that we're going to have to age and our life will be over at 50, and, all this really dense programming. And just, I think it's fun to share every time. I'm now 54.
Yes.
And how old are you,
46.
my dear friend? And
46.
Andrea is 46. And I think we're just getting started in in our de-aging, our ongoing de-aging process, and just coming into the full blooming of our vibrant bodies.
Yes.
Yeah, I just feel
I
like
definitely feel better. When I think about myself, I remember having to sleep so much when I was in my early 20s, just sleeping, and I don't have that anymore. I am just go. So
oh my gosh,
energy.
that is such a beautiful point that we hadn't talked about yet. And that's probably a great topic for a whole separate show. But
energy.
All of the life force, all of the energy that we both have from this mindset that we're in, and the practices that we employ that are really easy. I know so many people who are just exhausted.
Yes.
Right?
I need to take a nap. Let me just have a little nap and I'll be fine.
Yes, who are drinking caffeine all day, energy drinks.
Yeah.
I know you and I don't do any of that. It's not necessary.
No caffeine.
No,
I feel that way without any caffeine is it's remarkable. I remember being in my 20s and just not having this kind of energy.
Yes, same. So what this way of life, it's a mindset, and it's practices. This way of life is absolutely life-changing. And I think you and I were talking about this just yesterday, that I don't think we can overemphasize the joy and importance of feeling great in our bodies.
Right.
And how that affects every aspect of our lives.
Yes.
There's no way it doesn't.
Relationships, our kids, our work. Yeah.
Yes. I think if we can start with our own physical body, our own vessels, start there, our own being, and then we are just magnetic and vibrant for all the areas of our lives, whether it's our sex life, whether it's our careers, whether it's our health and our athleticism. If we're feeling great in our body, I think we can feel absolutely unstoppable.
Yes.
Yeah. And I just want to say a quick hi to our friend in India. Hello, we're so glad you're here. And please feel free to chime in and questions, anything. We'd love to hear from you. So we're just going to start. We thought we'd start with this every time we jump on, but to just start with, have you heard the mainstream programming that you're just going to have to accept the aging of your body?
Right.
And what?
Go ahead.
Yeah. What are some of the messages, Andrea, that we can share that these precious friends of
so
ours?
we talked about this a little bit last week. We jumped on and we discussed that how aging is just a part of life. Just suck it up. Once you hit 40, it's downhill from there. And it's funny, this morning we were talking a little bit about how when I was growing up, I heard the message, you're not happy unless you're heavy, or you're settled. Oh, she's comfortable. She's chubby. I used to get that message all the time. Oh, look, she gained a lot of weight. She must be happy.
Oh,
kind of an interesting twist,
Wow, that is so interesting. I hadn't heard. Well, there's that phrase, like, I don't know, like jolly, like
right,
overweight and jolly,
yes.
like Santa Claus.
Pleasantly plump.
Yes. I really, I feel like I heard the message, you just have to learn to age gracefully. Like, you just have to accept it and just love your wrinkles and love your belly fat. That always just felt like, that sounds ridiculous.
Well, and even the physical degeneration,
Yes.
My eyesight's going, I can't hear well. People don't understand that it is all connected, that our eyesight, our hearing, we can improve those things.
100%. I would love to do a show just on that. That's something I'm doing right now, is improving my eyesight. Yes.
Because it's not just about weight. It's not.
No. It's about, I like this phrase of physical sovereignty, taking leadership of our own physical vessel, meaning blocking out all these voices of the society that are telling us, oh, it's downhill from here in every way. Your eyesight's going to go, you're going to gain weight, you're going to be wrinkled, all of this. So just ignoring that, and then taking responsibility and accountability for every aspect of our own physical being.
Exactly.
And there are so many powerful tools to do so. And we're going to go into 3 really powerful tools in this show we're doing. But we also want to really highlight that the number one de-aging tool that you have right now is your own beliefs. And our last show, we really, really talked about that, but we want to just highlight that every single time. What you believe about your body, about aging, about de-aging, is what you are creating.
Yes. It's so true. And I've heard for so many years, different people in my life saying, I'm just going to embrace it. I'm embracing it. I'm embracing my age. I'm embracing my wrinkles. I'm loving my belly fat, like you said. But every time it's, 10 years later and they're miserable. How did I get here? I never used to look like this. I didn't want to feel like this. So it's a double-edged sword. Embracing it, what does that really mean? It doesn't mean that we just let ourselves go and that we eat whatever we want to eat and we do whatever we want to do. We drink, we smoke, we drink caffeine, we drink energy drinks, we put processed food into our bodies. And then 10 years later, we go, oh my God, how did I end up here?
Yes, you're making such a great point. And this is a very sophisticated delineation that we're making. We want to, of course, love ourselves no matter what. Yes. But it doesn't mean we have to accept the downfall of our body.
Yes.
We want to love ourselves 100%, but we love ourselves now. And we also can expect that we're going to see positive shifts in our body too. And we'll love that as well. So we want to love ourselves the whole way through, but we do not have to accept the programming that we're just going to physically deteriorate. Yes. That it is. I mean, I always just these birthday cards that say, "Oh, you're over the hill."
Yes.
Just
Doom and gloom. Doom and gloom.
and gloom, just like doom and gloom programming. So we really want to highlight to all of our dear brothers and sisters who are tuning in, your consciousness is your number one de-aging tool. And just a very easy, quick way to activate that tool is to come up with an affirmation for yourself. My affirmation basically is every day I get more and more gorgeous and de-age. That's my affirmation.
Yes. Yes.
And you know, you want an affirmation that feels believable. So it could just be, it could be that. It could be every day my body becomes stronger. Every day I'm learning more and more about.
Well, you know what? It's without conviction. You have always said this. I'm not getting any older. I'm not going to age. You have said that for as long as I've known you. And you haven't.
Yeah, I just decide. We can just decide. It's a choice we make. And what I also love about your Fountain of Youth program is these tools we're talking about. Obviously, you can bring them into every aspect of your life.
Yes,
it's not just about your body.
I've seen you do that with your doctorate program. I've seen you do that with your work over and over again. You have inspired me in that way.
Oh,
with your conviction. I'm not doing that. Or on the flip side, I remember saying, well, what do you think you'll do with your doctorate? I'm going to work, I'm going to write books, I'm going to do live podcasts. You knew from the very beginning. You said,
yes.
And you've just rolled with it.
Yes. Yes. I'm glad you're bringing this up because we all have those hardwired, heartfelt desires in our hearts.
Yes.
And they're all there. And this is another societal programming that we are taught to turn away.
Yes.
Oh, you can't do that. It's not practical. You won't make money. All the things, all the reasons.
And job, 9 to 5.
Yes, yes. And something that you and I talk about all the time, and we teach in your Fountain of Youth, is to filter out all those external voices. Come back to your heart. Come back to your own desires, and live from that place.
Yes.
And you will see the universe meeting you there, as within, so without.
Yes.
So powerful. Every one of us, every listener, you are the creator of your life and you are the creator of your body.
Yes.
And that's what we just always want you to fully embrace. Not embrace the societal programming of aging, but embrace that you are the creator of your body.
Yes.
So the 3 things that we're going to talk about in our show today are about how you can bring your body into a regenerative state. Hello, that sounds amazing. That sounds like
it is. It's amazing, and it feels amazing.
Yes, and yes. I mean, look how excited we are. We're just. We can't stop giggling and gleeing about all this. So obviously, when your body is in a regenerative state, that is 180 degrees from de-aging.
Yes.
We're doing the opposite. So obviously, we want to be mindful of what to do and what not to do about keeping our body in a regenerative state. And the 3 things we're going to talk about are what we eat, number 1. Number 2, how we eat. And number 3, cleansing. These are 3 pillars of how we can maintain a regenerative state in our body. Would you like to start with what we eat?
Well, for me, that's been a big thing for my entire life. What do I eat? And for women especially, I feel like we are the ping pong ball. What do I eat that's going to make me look good? What do I eat that I'm going to enjoy? What do I eat that's going to make me feel good? So we go back and forth in this triangle. And when we finally hit it and we figure out what it is that does all 3, it's like we've hit the jackpot.
Oh my gosh. Can you repeat those? I'm writing that down. That you are dropping great wisdom here. We want to look good.
We want to feel good.
Feel
and
good.
We want to enjoy our food.
And enjoy our food. Oh,
right?
Oh my gosh. That's the trifecta.
Yes.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Because that's what happens. We start on these programs and we feel depressed. Oh, I can't eat spaghetti and meatballs anymore, you know?
Yes.
And that really holds us back. How can we still enjoy our food? How can we feel good about what we're eating and not feel like we're constantly depriving ourselves?
Oh my gosh. Oh
that
my gosh.
Constant state of indulgence and deprivation. Women go back and forth. Today I'm indulging, today I'm depriving. It's just that constant back and forth. When we can get a hold of that and grasp onto that and really feel like we're not indulging, we're not depriving, that's when we can really start living.
Oh my gosh, Andrea! That is amazing.
It is.
And I just want to say, and I'm really curious for our listeners, I would love to hear what you have to say about this. You mentioned these three things. I want to repeat them because they're so profound. We want to look good, we want to feel good, and we want to enjoy eating and enjoy food as a beautiful part of our lives. And I'll just say that I think usually I might hit two of these at a time.
Yes.
But I have found it very hard. I'm still learning how to hit all three.
Right.
Yes.
It all goes back to our beliefs. It all goes back.
Yes. Yes. So can you share for you how you hit all three of these?
I think it's really just working on the belief system. I don't have to indulge at every meal and still feel satisfied.
Yeah.
But I don't have to starve myself. I don't have to deprive myself. And I think the balance really, once you achieve the balance, that's when you start feeling great. Your body will settle into a pattern. And that's another thing we really need to talk about is how long it takes for your body to adjust. There will always be a period of shock or difficulty in the beginning.
Yes. I think what you're talking about is scientists often say it takes about 30 days or so to create a new habit for the new neural pathways to develop. Yes. And we're really outside of our comfort zone especially in the very beginning of that time.
Exactly. And if we don't have support, that's where we fall short.
Yes, yes. And just to highlight again, our epic program, Your Fountain of Youth, this is one of the major topics we'll be talking about is how to come into a healthy relationship with eating.
Right.
And the support with that. And
how to support one another.
And Andrea has massive expertise, experience in food addiction. This was a big part of your master
training, my
master's program. Yes. And I'll just come clean. I believe I have food addiction.
Oh my gosh. Every single person on the planet struggles at some point with wanting, feeding. That's how we feed our soul.
Yes, yes. And when we go through difficult times in our life, that addiction can kind of raise its devil head more easily. So there's so much wrapped up here in food addiction. And I just love that you brought up this toggling between indulging and depriving. That has been a very common pattern for me in my eating. Yeah.
It's interesting too, because when we cleanse and when we fast, our brains still go back to when I'm done, I will indulge.
Absolutely. The whole time. Yes. Oh my gosh. Totally. And I think what you're really saying is coming to a different place where we've been able to change the way we think about all of
Yes.
that and the way it feels.
Yes.
That it's not, we don't look to food in this codependent way, basically.
Exactly.
You know, and I just like that word, because we can be codependent in so many different ways, codependent with our personal relationships, but to really see that for many of us, we may have codependence with food.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So,
I want to read that comment that just came in.
Yes.
I feel that some of us who want to eat healthy, physically and emotionally, struggle with having to choose what to eat that will give us the biggest bang for our buck. That's interesting.
That is such a hi, Stephen. This is a friend of mine. So glad you tuned in. Can you speak to that?
Well, I almost feel like it's that, how can I indulge but still restrict mentality? How can I eat something I love, but that it's going to fulfill me? So it's that balance. I feel like that might be what, physically and emotionally. So it's gonna fuel us physically, but it's gonna comfort us emotionally. What is your take?
Yeah, I think it's great to break down what is really being asked here, and I do feel the same way. Excuse me. I tend to try to maximize my pleasure and but not wanting to, you know, gain weight or look a way that I don't want to. So
Or feel sluggish.
Yes, or feel bad. And you know, I always coming back to our body's own natural intelligence, which also is something that we'll talk a lot about in your Fountain of Youth. But I think each one of us has to answer that question uniquely for ourselves. And I know I just love to eat. So for me, it makes sense to eat more raw foods, salads, fruits, because I can get a lot of eating pleasure. Takes a long time to eat a salad, and I'm giving my body what it wants. So, but I also have to say that my human wants pizza.
Right. Yes.
So for me, I still have a lot to learn on this journey, but where I am now is I try to be mindful of what my human wants, what my body needs, almost like I'm like a parent to my human and it's eating. Like, okay, honey, let's try to eat the raw foods and the salads and the fruit, but at least once a week, eat your pizza.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning, is that the best way for me or not? But and then just tying this into the topic here of how does this bring your body into a regenerative state? I know one of the points we wanted to just share here, at least briefly, is when we are able to eat whole foods, unprocessed foods, we take a lot of the pressure off of our body.
Yes.
Because our digestive and excretion systems don't have to work so hard to move through all of basically the chemicals and the toxins that are in that food.
Well, and there's so much more water. The hydration factor is so huge. So the water in those foods is so much more ample than, say, in bread. So our bodies have to work less to really process.
Yes. So I feel like a first step here in, we might say, sort of like cleaning up our eating perhaps, is rather than worrying about restricting yourself and dieting, is just taking some small steps towards reducing the amount of processed, not whole foods that you might be intaking.
Exactly.
And just to start on a path of whole foods. So as you said, that we stay hydrated and that our body can be more regenerative because it's not taking so much of its energy to break down and filter out all the chemicals and toxins in the processed foods.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so that's our first tip about bringing your body into a regenerative state, is to practice, what would we call it? Whole foods eating, unprocessed eating?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for me,
I'd almost like to take it one step further and
yeah.
you know, at some point really kind of breaking down the food pyramid and you know, changing it. That's,
oh my gosh.
You know, we've been so blinded our entire lives. Go back to limiting beliefs and let's bring in the food pyramid.
Oh my goodness, that's a whole show right there.
Right.
Yeah. Turning the food pyramid sort of upside down, or just lighting it on fire and starting over.
Yes.
You know, and I wouldn't be surprised if there were like lobbyists of food companies who were part of creating the food pyramid, so that the dairy industry, the wheat industry, etc. Okay, love it. So number one, we can transition into whole, natural foods, organic if you can afford it, and away from processed foods. That is the first step in bringing your body into, basically, it's just freeing your body up so that it can do other things. It can make repairs. It can cleanse itself, rather than just always trying to digest and filter and excrete.
Yes.
It takes so much time. Yeah, exactly. So it can heal. Yeah. Okay. The second tip we're bringing through here about bringing your body into a regenerative state is how we eat. And specifically what we mean is, what are the windows of time on a 24-hour basis that you're not eating?
Right. Again, old programming.
Old programming.
A day, eat your breakfast, eat your snack, eat your lunch, eat your snack, eat your, you know, old programming.
Yes, we've all heard, oh, you need to start with a healthy breakfast to fuel your body. It's not safe to not eat throughout the day. You always want to make sure your body has fuel.
Right.
We have found the opposite. There's so much evidence to the opposite. Absolutely. That actually, it's so interesting. There's an acronym OMAD, and it stands for 1 meal a day. And for instance, on Instagram, there are many people who their Instagram feed really just revolves around their OMAD eating.
Yeah.
And it is amazing. They'll post before and after pictures. Okay, I've been OMAD eating for 3 months. Here's my before picture. Here's my after picture. It is stunning.
Yes.
To see these pictures. People literally look 10 years younger, 20 years younger.
Yeah.
When they start
from, you know, giving your body a break.
Give your body a break from the continual digesting and excreting.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
we've been programmed, your cousin, we've been programmed to believe that we need to fuel up, fuel, always be feeding. So, you know, it goes back to those beliefs again.
Yes. And we might, you know, we might think, oh, I just need to constantly be giving my body like organic fruits and healthy salads, and that's what my body needs. Okay, those are good. But what we're saying, and scientific and experiential evidence shows this, what your body needs most of all is rest from digestion and excretion.
Yes.
And what blows my mind, and I hope everyone will just take a quick look at OMAD people on Instagram. They'll often post the pictures of what their 1 meal a day is.
Yes. Yes.
And often it's crap. It's you know, it's pizza, it's pasta, it's bread. And I'm not saying that that's what you should do, but what it shows me from seeing these people is it may be more important the window of time that you're giving your body to heal than what you're actually eating.
Yes.
Or, that it's, and I'm certainly not saying, just eat whatever you want all the time, that's the best thing. But I think it shows you
the results are there when you give your body a break.
When you give your body a break, it seems like you can get away with eating a little more unhealthy, basically. It's great to be able to eat healthy and give your body a break and cheat if you want to, but the evidence speaks for itself.
Yes.
People who are eating one meal a day and giving their body, I'm not sure exactly how long the time is for the whole digestion excretion process, but
right. Well, it varies depending on the food.
Right, exactly. And we talk about this all the time. To say if you eat a steak,
yes,
think about how difficult it is for your precious stomach to break down. Steak is so thick.
Yes.
And you've said all the water it takes to break down a piece of steak.
And then when you add carbs in with that, then it's hours and hours.
Your body often is spending almost all of its resources just digesting and excreting. So what we're saying here is we're just starting with being mindful about it. We don't necessarily have to take, any drastic steps, but we're just being mindful. Oh, you mean if I give my body a break from eating, it's going to be able to go into regenerative state and take care of other aspects of my physical vessel? Great. Absolutely. So you can start with maybe not eating breakfast. If you don't eat breakfast and maybe you eat your first meal at, say, noon, and then you stop eating, let's say by 7 or 8, let's say noon to 8. So you have an 8-hour eating window. Then 16 hours each day, you're not eating.
Right.
And so however long digestion takes, I'm not exactly sure, but there's going to be a window of time there where your body can concentrate on other aspects of healing and regeneration.
Yes.
And there's a fancy word for this. And I looked up how to pronounce it because I wasn't sure how to pronounce it before we got on, but it's called autophagy. Autophagy is the name. And it's spelled AUTOPHAGY. Autophagy. And it's a mode that your body goes into after a certain number of hours of you not eating. And it basically is
healing your cells. Your cells are rejuvenating.
Exactly. It is it's a deep cellular recycling system where your body's able to clean out the matter in your cells that is not highest and best, and really rejuvenate itself. And the scientific evidence shows that your body will go into autophagy anywhere from between 18 hours and on of not eating. So we're kind of talking about two different things here. We're talking about giving your body a break from digestion. And then if you have a longer fasting period, your body will go into this very powerful process called autophagy. And of course, we'll talk about all of this much more in depth in our epic program, Your Fountain of Youth, which starts early 2023. So, and I'll just share my own experience briefly that when I give my body a break from eating all the time, I immediately see results.
And feel results.
Yes. Yes. For you too?
For sure. Yes.
In fact, you and I have done lots of cleanses, some of them quite long. And I'll say that I love to eat. And so I cleanses in some ways are challenging for me, but they're also very exciting. I love to cleanse at the same time. And one of my favorite parts about cleansing is waking up in the morning, looking in the mirror and seeing improvements.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And talk a little bit about your eyesight. When you've been cleansing, what happens?
Yes, there's a particular cleanse I love to do. It's called the liver gallbladder cleanse. We're going to get really deep into that in your Fountain of Youth. But in Chinese medicine, it's known that there's a huge connection between our liver and our eyesight. I'm not going to pretend that I completely understand what that connection is, but the liver is the main filter in your body. It's the organ that filters everything. And when the liver is not cleansed and it's just full of all the toxins, it affects our eyesight.
Yes.
Amazing, right? So basically, every time I do a liver cleanse, my eyesight improves. Every time. Every time. It just blows my mind. I'm going to also say something that has been a more recent discovery. I also notice after I cry, my eyesight improves.
It's so interesting. Oh, it's cleansing. Your eyes are cleansing.
Yes.
You're releasing those, the toxins.
Yes, I'm not exactly sure how it works, but the emotional energy, there's some energy there.
Yes.
I've noticed this many times when I start to have blurry vision. I think, okay, I want to do a liver cleanse, or I think I need to release something emotionally and cry it out. It's just,
absolutely,
it's amazing. It's amazing. Amazing. Okay. And then the third, so
that leads right into the third thing.
Yes. So just to recap, the number 2 tip about bringing your body into regenerative state is to give your body breaks from eating so that it literally just can concentrate on the healing of your body, on the regeneration.
And we're talking about mini breaks through intermittent fasting.
Yes, exactly. And then do you want to
well, I think it leads right into the third item that we wanted to talk about, and that's a longer term cleanse. You know, you touched on it when you just talked about the liver cleanse.
Yes.
So, fasting. For a period of time. But again, the key to that is having the support system.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And I'll just say, I have to be in a very supportive environment in order to enter a long cleanse. Because I am still codependent on food. That's something.
I never saw that really. I remember you cleansing and really using that mindset of, you know what, I got this. It's only a week. If it's a week, I can do anything. It's only 3 days. I got this. You know, you were always so powerful with that.
Yes. And that really, I'm glad you're bringing that up. We really do have the power of our mindset to carry us through a cleanse. And exactly what you said, I always take that mindset. It's just temporary. I can do anything for a week.
You were living one day at a time, one meal at a time, you know, as you were cleansing.
Yes, you're right. It does help you become in a way more present because you're just sort of taking it day by day. And you're not like, oh my God, I'm not going to eat for a week, or I'm not going to eat for 10 days. You just, you bring yourself back from that. And there's so many tips that we can share around this. And one quick tip is, say if I go out to a restaurant with my family or friends and I'm cleansing, not eating, I will always order food and I'll just take it home and I'll think to myself, as soon as I'm done with my cleanse, I'll have that food.
So amazing.
And
I've never done that.
That really, really helps. But the cleanse that you cannot get me to shut up about is the intestinal cleanse.
Yeah.
if you do one thing for your body, if you do one thing, I invite you to take your fountain of youth, because we're going to do the intestinal cleanse together. And it is going to change your life.
Yeah.
It changed. I de-aged 10 years in 18 days. I did.
Yes.
I've done the intestinal cleanse. I think I've done it the 18 days twice. And then I've done it for a shorter amount of times. But the first time I did the intestinal cleanse was about 2.5 years ago. And I am telling you, I never felt better. During the cleanse, I felt amazing.
Yes.
I was so excited. You will not believe what you're able to remove from your body.
So true. It's true.
And you
will. We're not taught. We're not taught any of this.
And I mean, I say this all the time. We clean out everything else, right? Do you get an oil change on your car every 6 months or so? Do you clean out your kitchen pipes if the sink gets clogged up?
Yes. Yes.
Do you sometimes plunge the toilet because the pipes are clogged? We clean out everything else, but not our own internal organs.
And that really touches on another part of it. You know, we've almost been socialized to believe that the cleanses aren't healthy. There's a whole part of, you know, is it working? Is it healthy? And so much of the research will say no, but we have so many testimonies. We're living proof of how much it can help.
You're so right. I don't know if there's, you know, a conscious agenda on the mainstream medical community's part to discredit cleanses. Yeah. Because they want us to take pharmaceuticals and do things. And I mean, my ex-husband is a urologist. He removes people's organs because they're not working, because they're not being cleansed. Can you imagine? We live in a society where it's more common to remove organs than to cleanse them.
Yes.
Mind blown.
That is mind blowing.
Mind blown.
Listen, the number one thing for me is really gallbladder. You know, you see it gets removed all the time. I'm having my gallbladder removed. I'm having my gallbladder removed. And there's so many implications that come from that. Having
my God. We're playing God. I mean, God made us to have the organs and we're removing them.
Yes. But it's somewhat easier. That's why we have to really focus on that food addiction, and that people, and that's classic. I'm going to have my gallbladder removed. That's easier than doing a gallbladder cleanse.
Yes. Or I'm going to have my stomach stapled because I don't know how to resolve my overeating. I mean, these drastic...
It really goes back to the limiting beliefs, though. I can't do it. I can't do the cleanse. I can't.
Yes, I can't limit.
Weight.
Or
my body isn't like your body.
Yes.
That's the limiting beliefs that we tell each other.
Yes.
We tell ourselves all the time, that we continue to tell ourselves.
And I know we've been speaking to this throughout this show, but having a community and having support makes all the difference.
Yes.
I mean, I think almost every one of us probably could really benefit from some type of support around food, eating, and our bodies.
Yes.
There's so much misinformation. There's so much addiction. I know just talking to you just always helps me to just feel supported and come into more balance.
Yeah,
and it gives me more strength.
Yes. To understand our limiting beliefs. We don't even think about it. You know, we go about our day and we continue to tell ourselves these things. And then when we speak to other people, we think, oh my goodness, my limiting beliefs are holding me back. It's just like the comment that just came in. And thank you for that comment. You look like a 30-year-old girl. People always say that the cleanses aren't necessary. That's it. We hear it all the time. They're not necessary. But
Yes.
I just went to the doctor and I have to have my gallbladder removed. So,
Oh my God.
Yes.
I just have to repeat it. We live in a culture where it's more accepted to surgically remove our organs than to cleanse them.
Or fix. Surgically fix our bodies.
Yes.
Plastic surgery.
Surgically yes, we haven't even talked about plastic surgery.
Yeah.
I know we have all seen the pictures, especially of celebrities who understandably in the pressure to remain looking young, especially for a woman, will take these drastic, invasive measures on their precious faces. And sometimes it's a disaster.
Yes.
And it's just,
yes.
And I'm getting chills. What can you do about it? Like once you have distorted your face in that way,
there's no turning back.
There's no turning back. My heart breaks for people who've had plastic surgery and had, horrible results. Yeah. There's nothing you can do.
Right.
And it's a life lesson. It's what their soul, but we just want to really, really emphasize we don't need to have plastic surgery. There are so many other ways to maintain our youthful, vibrant, healthy face and body.
And I don't want to discredit. There are times when there is no other choice but to have the surgery. There is a place for that. But that the number one go-to should not be the doctor said I should take out my gallbladder, and that's just what we do, and we continue to eat the same way. That's the sign saying something has to change.
Yes. Everything we talk about in the Your Fountain of Youth program, in the metamorphosis journey, it's always coming back to yourself for the answers. We can consult doctors, we can consult information, we can consult people like us. But in the end, the answers for your body and every aspect of your life are within you and truly from your own guidance, whatever you want to call that, your higher self, your intuition, your God. But the answers are always within us. And I've been doing this more and more. I've just been asking my body for answers. Like I did a post on Facebook a little while ago that I had this issue with my toe. I thought I was having an ingrown toenail. I got real quiet. I put my hand on my heart and I asked my body, what does my body need? How can I resolve this issue? And just immediately tea tree oil came up, tea tree oil. And wouldn't you know, I put on tea tree oil and it cleared up.
So incredible.
So this is something.
And the same thing that with your eyes.
Yes.
That it's helpful.
Yes.
That's coming from your inner voice.
Yes. So these are all topics that we're going to just heavily dive deep into in our epic program, Your Fountain of Youth, how to just talk to your body, get the answers straight from your body. And before we leave this topic of cleansing, I just want to give a couple of very concrete reasons how cleansing puts your body into a regenerative state. So we've already talked about autophagy, and I think I'm pronouncing it correctly at this point. Autophagy. This cellular recycling process that happens once your body has reached about like 18 hours of not eating. But I also just want to bring up a couple of other points that to me are just so powerful and really fascinating. The intestinal cleanse that we've been talking about, that we will lead you through in Your Fountain of Youth, what it does is it removes all of the gunk from your intestines that has accumulated over the decades of your life. And the accumulation is so profound because of basically the toxic physical environment that we live in.
Yes. And we've been programmed to believe, just like in that comment, that we don't need to cleanse.
Right.
We'll just naturally do it.
Yes. And And it is true that our body is a naturally cleansing organism. But the hard, brutal truth is the amount of chemicals and toxins that are present in our current modern environment overtaxes our body's ability.
Yes.
That's the brutal truth. And it's not just the food. It's not just the food. If you wear clothes that are dry cleaned, it's the dry cleaning chemicals. Those chemicals go right into your skin.
Oh my gosh.
They go into your body.
Yes.
The sunscreen, the bug spray, the laundry detergent, the cleaning products,
Oh,
the
I know.
the medicine you're taking, the Botox, all of the stuff.
Yes.
Everything that is not basically whole and pure is taxing.
Even the air that we're breathing.
The air you breathe.
Yes.
The perfume you wear.
Yes.
The makeup, all of it. All of it. And it doesn't mean you have to cut all of that out. It just means be aware that your body is having to absorb all of that, and it needs help removing it. So that is why cleansing your internal organs is just a huge regenerative practice.
Yeah.
So what happens in the intestinal cleanses, you're able to remove all of this toxic buildup that is stored in your intestines. And I mean, I always say this, when you go to the beach in the summertime in the Western Hemisphere and you see usually people who are maybe 40 or over and they have the extended bellies, it's not fat. It's not fat. It's expanded intestines that are holding all of this toxic buildup.
Yes. Our colons and the colon and the intestines.
They are holding all this toxic buildup. And there are two main reasons why you really want to flush this out of you. Well, first of all, you're going to look great.
I feel great.
So, Angie and I have been posting bikini pictures of ourselves online. And, for both of us, we're a little bit maybe out of our comfort zone, but you can see that our bellies are basically flat because we have cleaned out our intestines.
Yeah.
This is the secret. Mm-hmm. It's not fat. I mean, there can be fat. I'm not saying there's no fat. There can be fat. But a lot of that huge enlargement, extension, it's your intestinal buildup. So the cleanse that we're going to do in the Your Fountain of Youth, it's going to remove all that. So two reasons, in addition to why you're going to look great, is that all of that toxic matter is continually leaching into your bloodstream through the intestinal walls, which is not helping things, right? That's not helping. Yeah. All these toxins that you've taken in, they're being stored in your intestinal tract, and every second of the day, that's all leaching into your system. That is not helping how you look and feel.
And it really slows down the process. It's so much harder when you think about a straw that's closing and getting, so much gunk in the straw. It's so harder for things to move through that easily.
Oh my goodness. Hello, constipation? Yes. If you have trouble moving your bowels, it's very likely you have a lot of intestinal buildup. And then most of the products that are sold to relieve the constipation, they're a Band-Aid. They might get things running temporarily, but they might be causing more buildup. Yeah. You're not getting to the root cause. Is you need to remove
and what you're
buildup.
Truly losing if you're taking something like that is just water.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, there's so many obvious reasons here why this is so important, but you're leaching all these toxins into your bloodstream. And then number two, no matter if you're eating great, let's say you're eating all organic, let's say you're eating all whole foods, you're eating a raw foods diet, you're taking all these beautiful supplements, guess what? They're not getting into your blood system very productively because your intestinal tract is full of the toxic buildup.
Right. You can't assimilate the nutrients.
You cannot assimilate the nutrients.
Right.
And that is why I believe, as a physical practice, the intestinal cleanse is the number one thing you can do to de-age yourself.
Right.
As
Yes.
the physical, the emotional, mental number one practice is your beliefs. And the number one physical practice is the intestinal cleanse. It will change your life. It will change your body. And every day from there on, your body will be able to assimilate all those nutrients that you're taking in.
Yes.
And so you will continue to de-age from there on out.
And when assimilating the nutrients, that's when we start having diseases crop up. That's where
my goodness.
Our bodies start working against itself.
Allergies. This amazing book that has been my Bible of intestinal cleansing, which we want everyone to get when they do the Your Fountain of Youth. There are so many testimonials in the back of the book of people curing every type of disease out there, everything.
Yes.
Cancer, autoimmune disorders, emphysema, diabetes, Lyme disease, all of it. Think about if you're holding toxins in your intestinal tract, you're holding toxins as within, so without, you can be creating disease in your body. I mean, it's just common sense.
It is. And I know a lot of people who have cleansed and cleansed and cleansed, but without really honing in on the beliefs. It has to be a dual effort.
Absolutely. So our 4-step de-aging method, that is the brainchild of Andrea and mine, is we are hitting each important aspect of your being, your mental state, your emotional state, your physical state, and your subconscious state. We go through so much with all of those states so that each state is primed for de-aging. And I think that's where a lot of programs about dieting or looking younger, they don't hit all 4 aspects.
No.
We all have so many subconscious beliefs.
Yes.
Limiting beliefs about ourselves. And most of them, they're from society, they're from our ancestors, our lineage, and we're not even aware that we have them.
Right.
So we go into the subconscious.
Or how they're affecting us as a whole.
As a whole, yes.
Yeah.
So I know we could just talk about all this.
I know.
It's so exciting. We should probably
wrap
it up. But I mean, I think anyone listening can just really tell how passionate we are about this topic, about these practices, because they have changed our own lives, right?
Yes.
They've changed I have seen myself de-age. I have seen it.
It's so interesting because I have seen myself grow while I'm de-aging. It's a little oxymoron.
Grow, like you mean like spiritually grow, or
yes. As I'm growing, I'm de-aging.
Yes. I think there is such a consciousness upgrade in this whole process because we look at everything and we move through our addictions and we come to a higher consciousness in general.
Yes.
This is not just about looking and feeling better.
No.
It's about being in a higher consciousness in general. Yeah. So just a few more details we've been talking a bit about. We have an epic program, people. I don't use that word often, but this truly is an epic program. We believe it will change your life. We believe not only will you look and feel 10 years younger, but you will really be in a different consciousness in general. about your body and about every aspect of your life. We believe this is an absolutely life-changing experience that we will go through with you. It's a 12-week program. It's starting, we're still finalizing the dates, but in early 2023, January or February, we're going to take you through 12 weeks of epicness, including 3 different cleanses, including a 30-day food addiction, if that's something that you're challenged by, a food addiction neural pathway shift, transformation.
Yes.
And just full support. We are both therapists. I'm a licensed doctor of psychotherapy with enormous experience in helping people with food, with eating, with using their bodies. And Andrea, you have a master's
in counseling.
Yes.
Focusing
on addictions. We are heavy hitters here, people. We are heavy hitters. We know the emotional, physical, mental, and subconscious methods to bring you into your best feeling body. If this is something important to you, we are the people that can really assist you on this journey. And we're so passionate about it. We can't stop talking about it.
I know. We're so over time too. We could talk forever.
I know. I think this is my favorite topic. I don't know. Like, I love talking about everything in the metamorphosis journey. This topic, I think, gets me so fired up because most people are not happy in their bodies.
Right.
And we all can be happy in our bodies.
Yes.
And it's not that hard.
No.
So I just it's so tangible. It's so,
that's the piece I wish I could feed. I wish I could tell. I wish I could just explain. It's not that hard.
It's not that hard, especially when we have support, as we do in this program. And I just want to say hi to Mud Chat. And our friend in India says, fine program. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I hope you'll join us. I can't stop talking about this. Someone's gonna have to like take me out of this room because I just can't stop talking about it. I'm so fired up right now. I'm so fired up. Okay, so we probably should end. But yeah, so we love you. We would love to walk with you on this journey in your fountain of youth. And as we always say, if you've been listening to this, we want to offer you a $200 discount. Just DM us. We're just putting the final touches on the website so you can sign up for real. But if you want to join us, DM us and get that $200 discount. And we'll be back a week from now with some more
next week.
Okay.
Yes, and hopefully you'll join us again. Thank you so much.
Yes, and please join our Facebook group. And on the Facebook group, just tell us, make a post or DM us any topics that you'd like for us to talk about.
Yes. Okay. Someone said, when do we eat? You know, there's some things that came up. So for sure.
Yes. So we love you and we are in full support of you being in your best feeling body.
Yes.
Bye for now.